It's your man Jay Gray's Report, and welcome to the Mick Football Weekly Preview, sectional style. It's playoff time, Playboy. Class 6A starts this weekend, so let's go right to it. Now, you know I'm only looking at the Mick teams. I don't care nothing about nobody else playing. We only talking Mick football, so just in case if your team is playing one of the Mick, then we talking about you. If you not, you gonna be dubbed. Now, let's move on to the first ball game. We got number 14, Franklin Central, going down to Center Grove to play the number 8 Trojans. Now, here's the deal. Franklin Central coming into this ball game, 8-1, 8-0 in their conference. They putting in work. You know, a lot of times you try to discount boys because they not playing in the mix. But these cats putting in work. My man Dylan Bishop, quarterback, comes in with 1,742 yards, 23 touchdowns, only 6 dub picks. They also have a running back, Mike Pitts. The Duns got over 1,000 yards. They got a receiver, Maliki Parks, 691 yards. They coming in rolling. They coming in doing work. But they gotta show up at Ray Skillman though. They gotta show up and down in Center Grove. Hey, and they not playing. These boys have been battle tested because they've been playing in the Mick all season, and they got it done. They call him the Warhorse. Now, the Warhorse led the Mick. Listen to what I'm saying to you, bruh. Led the Mick in rushing this year. Had over 1,128 yards rushing at 14 years old. Now, last week, the Dun just turned 15, had a birthday. Now he got a little hair on his chest. Got a little hair on his chest. He ready to run all over these boys. Now, the Warhorse, they call him the Warhorse. His name is Carson Steele. On the streets in Greenwood, they call him Potter. Hey, that Dun's ready to work out. He's 15 years old now. He moved to a whole nother level. No way is Franklin Central going to slow this boy down. We go, and then look, think about it. Not only do you have a Warhorse, my man Jackson Moore putting in work. Jackson Moore, 862 yards. They don't throw the ball very much. That's what's impressive about what Jackson Moore's been able to do. They've only had 65 receptions, but he's put up over 862 yards. So Jackson Moore, the Warhorse, Center Grove, wins this ball game. Let's move on to the next ball game. Now, we got number 2, Warren Central, goes over to play Lawrence North. Let's move on to the next ball game. Hey, Lawrence North is 2-7. They lost 7 ball games in a row. Now, I feel bad for these boys because I saw them play earlier in the season in the Battle of Lawrence, and they got a good team. I don't know what happened. They fell apart somewhere along the line. They lost their confidence. But they got a cat named Trey Bonds. I got to give Trey Bonds mad props. Trey Bonds is the real deal running the rock, bruh. He's averaging 6.3 yards per carry. They just don't give the rock to him enough. He only carried the ball 76 times this year, had 479 yards rushing. The Dun can run the rock. They just ain't putting it in his hands. But on the other side of the ball, you got Warren Central coming into this joint. Ranked number 2, 6-3, battle tested. Got my man Jaden George throwing the rock. Jaden George got more than 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns. He throwing to the most explosive wide receiver in the state. They call him David Bell, 791 yards, 6 touchdowns. He, in his opinion, he didn't have the best year, but he's the monster. Sometimes it be like that, bruh, but 791 yards is a monster year, and you still got a whole nother season to play. But there's no way they're going to be able to slow this boy down because they call him David Bell. Now, they also got Desir Griffey that catches the rock. Dean Tate catches the rock. Then they got 2 cats running the rock. Romir Elliott and the cats that makes the all-uniform team every week. They call him Jason Holland. These boys going to work on it. And then on the other side of the ball, Julius Brents. I mean, there's no way that Lawrence North going to be able to get out of this joint alive. So right now, they in the locker room getting everybody fitted for new mouthpieces, bruh. Why? They say, hey, why we getting new mouthpieces? Because they're going to need dental records to identify these boys after this ball game. I'm going with Warren Central to win this ball game going away. 3 quarters, they're going to sit everybody down. They're going to have everybody, they're going to have the 12th man out there playing after this. Let's move on to the next ball game. We got number 4, North Central. I'm lying, they ain't number 4. You got North Central going in to play number 6, Pike. Now, 2 weeks ago, North Central went over to Pike, got the doors blown off of them, 45-28. North Central, I got to give props to Chinchilla O'Shea. I call him Chinchilla O'Shea because he got so much swag over there. He walking around with a chinchilla on. My man, Coach O'Shea, Kevin O'Shea. The Don came in and turned the program around, put all kind of attitude and swag in the building. Now boys playing with a little bit more confidence. You got Liam Thompson putting in work over there. Cole McGuire, Trayvon Elliott, and George Stokes all catching the rock. George Stokes playing running back, catching the ball out the backfield and running all over the place. He got over 119 yards receiving and 675 yards catching the ball. Running the ball. Then you got DJ Johnson on defense. The Don is all everything. Everybody trying to grab him. He's committed to Iowa. He the real deal. But on the other side of the ball, you got probably the most dangerous team in the MIC right now. Besides Ben Davis. Ben Davis, we don't even count Ben Davis no more, bro. They got the cheat codes. They on a whole nother level. They like the Commodores with Lionel Richie. They Lionel Richie. They like Beyonce and Destiny Child. You know, they on their own. They eventually just going to be out there by themselves. They don't even need a conference. They're going to be like Notre Dame. They going to want all the money. They keep the money themselves. But Pike on the other side of the ball, they averaging 473 yards a game, bro. Jordan Garrett is showing up every week right now with the full clown suit on, bro. He jumping out the birthday cake with the full clown suit on, with the water spitting flour and the whoopee cushion. The Don got more than 2,100 yards, 22 touchdowns. He going to work on boys. Before the season started, boy wasn't even thinking about Jordan Garrett. Now, he the real deal, putting in work, and everybody worried about him. Then he's got a plethora of wide receivers. Let me say that again. A plethora. He got the Jalen twins, Jalen Crenshaw, Jalen Mack. Last time I saw a cat named Keith Allender, he was showing his bare bottom against North Central. This cat is the real deal. Then you got Cameron Peterson, Darrell Black Jr. These are all the cats he throwing to. He throwing to 5 or 6 different wide receivers every night. Then he has Reggie Lipscomb coming out the backfield on a boy. And he running all over the place. Reggie Lipscomb's got more than 714 yards rushing, and he catching the rock out the backfield. This team, in my opinion, outside of Ben Davis, like I say, Ben Davis, we don't count Ben Davis, though. We ain't even talk about them. They're on a whole nother show. Outside of Ben Davis, this team is probably the most impressive team in the MIC right now simply because they were 0-10 last year. Think about that, bro. They didn't win a game last year. Now they come into this sectional. Sectional 5 is what they're in. They favored to win the sectional. They 5-4. They're on a 2-3 game winning streak. The Duns putting in work. Coach Graves. Hey, they got so much swag over at Pike right now. The whole coaching staff go show up like Zeke Elliott with the midriff on Friday. Can you imagine that coaching staff with a midriff on? Everybody go on the midriff, bro. That's how much swag they playing with right now. Only difficulty is, because they beat the brakes off North Central 3 weeks ago, 45-28, it's going to be difficult for the coaching staff to get these boys focused. Because once you blow the doors off somebody, you think you can just walk in and do it again. You still got to play the 4 quarters on Friday. You still got to be able to show up and put in work. So, Pike wins this ball game, but do they put up 48 points? That's the question. Can they they don't need to put up 48 points. They just need to win the ball game. So I'm going with Pike to win this ball game. Now, the last ball game, the one that boys thought was going to be a challenge earlier in the season, turned out to be a blowout. You got number 1, Ben Davis, goes over to play number 4, Lawrence Central. Now, a few weeks ago, everybody was rushing, trying to get off work early to go see this ball game. Ben Davis beat these boys 41-8. Now, can Lawrence Central come back and be 33 points better, or can Ben Davis be 33 points worse than they were a few weeks ago? I doubt it very seriously. Even though Danielle Merritt has been putting in work. The Duns got over 1,886 yards, 23 touchdowns. They got a cat running the rock. John Childs III, 845 yards rushing. But they got two wide receivers that a lot of cats act like they sleeping on. The real deal. You got Donovan Wright, who's got more than 842 yards receiving. Then you got Kurt Pinkston Jr. with 444. Both these boys in the open field are nuts. I saw them play against Center Grove. Donovan Wright, you give him 2 inches, he gone. The Dun can flat out fly, all right? But on the other side of the ball, they got crazy characters on the other side of the ball. They got the best player in the state, Cam McGrone at linebacker. He the real deal. He's a tackling machine, bruh. Then they got Marion King, tackling machine. Manny Bellamy, ball hawk. But it ain't gonna make a difference, bruh. You gotta play these cats with the cheat code. Ben Davis got the cheat code. Somebody report him. They got the cheat code. Look at it. They averaging 248 yards in the air. 253 on the ground because they got weapons all over the place. I call that weaponry. They got everything. Reese Taylor, who eventually will win Mr. Football. This Dun got 2,100 yards, 29 touchdowns in the air. Another 398 on the ground and 8 touchdowns. Then you got the most complete wide receiver in the state. They call him Brock Thompson. I did a hot joint on him this week. You got to go to the jgravesreport.com. Check out the joint. I called it Respect the Grind. Brock Thompson was diagnosed with alopecia when he was 6 months old, bruh. Boys talked about him and teased him all the way up. All that did was gave him confidence and gave him a fire inside his system to go out there and do work. Now, he's on the number 1 team in the state. He's the best wide receiver in the state. He's about to walk out of Ben Davis, owning records of total yards, total catches, total touchdowns, putting in work. See, when you talk about a boy, you give him fire. That's my guy. I'm riding with him. Brock Thompson, the real deal. Then also, not only is Reese throwing to him, he's got Keyshawn Tunstall, Jermaine Hoskins, Taekwon Henderson. Crazy. Then running the rock, Johnny Adams. Hey, big props to Johnny Adams. Just got another offer. Got an offer to go to play at Cal. So if he takes it, hey, he going to be a part of the Pac-12. If he don't, somebody else going to miss out because he the real deal. Then you got Joey Pearson. Now, here's the thing about Joey Pearson. This is what boys don't realize about Joey Pearson. He's averaging 6.5 yards a carry, bro. He's overshadowed because you got so many weapons all over the field. Not only do you have those guys, but on defense, you got crazy cats. You got Elijah Bell out there beating the brakes off of boys. Kalen Laws beating the brakes off boys. Sir Zion Dance. That means he got a name like Sir Zion. That means you got to call him Sir before he tackle you. Hey, these boys got the cheat code. The only way they going to lose, like I said before, and I'm going to keep saying it, is if they tie their shoes together, blindfold themselves. That's the only way they're going to lose, bruh. Ben Davis blows the doors again off of Lawrence Central, at Lawrence Central. It's your man, Jay Graves Report, from the jgravesreport.com, or you can hit me up on Twitter at Jay Graves Report so you can holler at your boy. And also remember that this segment is presented by your good neighbor, State Farm agent, Robbie R. Murray, located 3955 Eagle Creek Parkway, Indianapolis, or hit your boy up at 317-297-3804 so you can holler at your boy.